What's up guys, and welcome back to FnA Van Life. Today we got a wonderful van tour for you guys. We have Abby and Joe.
I'm Abby.
I'm Joe.
And we're in college right now. We live in Connecticut.
This is our 2004 Freightliner Sprinter. We bought it with 103,000 miles, and so far she's got 121. Ticks like a clock. We bought it on Facebook Market. Places like Facebook, OfferUp are always the places to look. You don't want to be looking at dealerships because, I mean, who wants to spend all that money on a dealership van when you're just going to go and tear it up anyway? So we bought this van. It was a limousine. A bank owned it, Mass Mutual. They went ahead and they took clients to the airport and baseball games and all this stuff. So it had this real like weird like limousine conversion. So we gave that about a week until we tore that out, and we found that it already had spray foam insulation. So that was great because insulating one of these big vans is a lot of work, and you'd save a lot of money if we buy a van that's already insulated. It's been fun. We're going to college. We do classes online, so it's really easy to, you know, do your classwork on the road with your hotspot, and then like not worry about being at home sitting in a dorm room when your classes are online.
Yeah, we just wanted to travel. Originally, we wanted to backpack the country. But he wasn't.
She wanted a backpack.
He wasn't so down for that, so he wanted to do something a little bit more luxurious. So here we are. I built the whole interior from supplies we bought at Home Depot, and we'll go check that out. But first, we're gonna go check out the back.
On the back, we have a Harbor Freight motorcycle carrier holding my Honda CRF 230M. It is a 2009. They only made this bike for 1 year. It came with street tires in the front and back, and black plastic. So it's a nice looking bike. It blends with the black van, and it's great for when you park somewhere and you just want to like rip around a city and not worry about driving your massive van. We also have a spare tire. This is a Serco tire carrier. Mounts on the rear doors here. And it's got our spare wheel, and all 5 of our wheels are off a Mercedes G-Wagon. We took them. It's one of the only wheels that bolts right on. Got the big tires and 18s. It took minor modifications to make the fit, but it fits. All right, now over to the front end, we've got the Mercedes grill. It is a Freightliner van, but Mercedes grill bolts right on, so you gotta have that. You know, you're paying for a Mercedes. Custom headlights. I actually have my friend in Poland make these. He ships them to me and I sell them. So if you're interested in a set of these headlights, get in touch. My information will be in the description. Driving lamps, these are Hellas. And then I've got our custom plate, Connecticut.
Nice. It's actually a triple meaning. So we have Mercy, as in Mercedes, obviously. Also, Mercy is the name of like big ships. Mercy?
Mercy,
oh,
please
Mercy.
pull over if I'm behind you because I'm driving super slow.
Yeah.
You shall pass.
So right here we have our ditch lights. They shine really bright yellow. He can turn them on for you.
Woo! Look at those bad boys.
It's a lot brighter in the middle of the night, but we have these brackets right here that mount underneath the hood.
What type of solar do you guys have on the roof?
We have 200 watts of solar on the roof. It's the Renogy kit, the one that's on for sale on Amazon. It's got the charge controller. It's an MPPT, 20 amp. And then we also have the max fan up there, the 7500 with the 10 speed.
So right here, right before you get inside, we have what we call our porch light. It's actually on magnets. It runs on solar panels, so we never have to worry about charging it. So right here, we have a charging station. So this is where we plug in cameras, phones. We have the power switch for an inverter right here. You can just turn it on like that. This is our shoe bin. So we store all of our shoes right here. Right here we have our stove. It's a Dometic drop-in stove. It has 2 burners and it runs on propane. In this cabinet we have our refrigerator. It's a Dometic 65 quart. It's awesome.
That thing is huge.
Yeah, it stores a lot of food. You just have to dig a little bit sometimes. But you can set the temperature you want right here. It could be a freezer or a refrigerator. Right here we have our sink and our faucet. It's kind of complicated. You could either use it like this, or you can flip this. There's lots of different handles, so it's kind of complicated, but I've got the hang of it. We have our laundry, cleaning supplies, and toilet paper for our toilet, which is hidden right here.
Just a little spot right there. You can't even tell.
It's not so private, but it's okay for the two of us. We have these two hooks for hanging towels, hats, bags, anything we need. Right here we have our eating area. So we have the Lagoon Table, which has been just absolutely awesome. You can really turn it any way you need it to go. So you can sit in here, you can swivel around. If you don't want to use it, you can just push it over there and it's out of the way. Right here we have spare parts. We have oil, cleaning supplies, anything that we would need for the outside of the van, really. Here's where we store our food. It's a little bit messy, but it gets the job done. This is what we call our medicine cabinet. So we have all of our soap, toothbrush, makeup, anything you would need for that. Right here we have this mirror, which is actually on suction cups. I got it for $1 at Dollar Tree and it's been awesome. You can really stick it anywhere you need it. We have a light switch for underneath the kitchen cabinets, which is really cool. Carbon monoxide detector, you've got to be safe, so I definitely recommend that. This backsplash right here is actually peel and stick. We wanted something super light. I got it on Amazon. I think all of this was about $80, so it's super doable, it's easy to install, and it just brightens it right up in here, so I love that. A lot of people are really impressed by that.
Well, you know, you can talk about it.
Okay,
I'll get into queen size bed and stuff.
I will, dude. There's just so much to cover. Right here we have these controls for our light switcher on a dimmer switch. We have the remote for our max fan, which is awesome. It has a thermostat on it, so we know how warm it is in here. It has 10 different speeds, and it's really cool because I can just push a button and it opens right up. We have our silverware in this drawer, coffee. Down here we call this our junk drawer. We just throw a bunch of miscellaneous objects in there. We keep our tools down here, well, most of them, but we also have some in the back. I am so happy we have this many cabinets. It might look like a lot, but we have a lot of clothes. So this is my side and this is his side, and we keep it separate. So this is actually a live edge countertop. It's quaking aspen. We got it from a lumberjack. We use this piece for our kitchen, and then we had this scrap piece left over, so we did it for a nice side table for the bed, which is great because at nighttime we can put our water up there, we can put our phones up there, and it worked out perfectly. Back there we have our air conditioning, which only runs when the van is on, but it's definitely nice to have because it gets really hot in here, especially in the desert. I don't know what we would do without it. And the front air conditioning is really, really sad, so that's great to have. Full queen size bed, which originally we thought about putting it side to side. In the end, I am so glad we went front to back because we're both really sloppy sleepers. When you park for the night, you really want to make sure you're on level ground because if you're all at an angle, you will end up on top of each other. So you just want to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, because why would you want to get on Joe here?
Yeah. Under here, we just have our trash can. Nothing much exciting, but you also have an access door to our storage underneath the bed. We have a bunch of junk under there.
Woodworking, everything inside has been you?
Yeah, everything is built from scratch. So these cabinets, they were just built from wood planks from Home Depot.
Do you have any experience?
My family owns a campground, so I grew up around handymen. Basically, I learned how to use tools, how to restore old houses, old campers, and that's what I did for work for a while. Oh. So I did have experience with this, but a lot of things like building cabinets, plumbing, electrical, that was definitely a learning curve, but I'm glad I know how to do it now. I'll know how to do it for the rest of my life.
Oh, your trim work is excellent. It looks really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And then we have the pine tongue and groove for our ceiling. It's just stained and finished. I love it. I think it looks great with the white cabinets.
Yeah.
It's a nice contrast.
It gives that warm tone that it gives it. It just makes it feel really cozy and home, like a home, you know?
Yeah, and it matches the floor as well. And this is actually the same stain, so that ties it all in.
Awesome, thank you for showing us the inside of your van. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no problem.
I know the story of your life through winter storms and summer skies. There was a time when you were young and free. So let's go back to the beaches where I always make you laugh, to the forest where we found a hidden path, to the summer.
So up front, we have a Pioneer head unit. Abby didn't want to buy this, but I convinced her to let us buy it, and it's been sweet because it's a single-in little head unit, but it pops out to a full screen. You've got Apple CarPlay here. You've got all your music connected. We added some speakers too, so it's a little bit louder. Got all your apps here. You got Waze, Spotify, Google Maps, everything. So it's so much nicer when you're driving, you know, instead of having a phone in your hand and one hand on the wheel, just having this with your map, just where you're going, is so much nicer than dealing with like a phone mount or anything like that.
And it's huge, so it's like you can always see where your next turn is coming.
Oh, it's awesome. Right here we added in a storage cubby because originally there's an airbag here, and I figured I'm gonna be passenger, she's gonna be passenger. Neither of us like really care about an airbag all that much. So either way, we got a storage cubby instead. So this is where the wallets get tossed, and the sunglasses get put, because we underestimated the necessity of sunglasses, but when you're driving for like several hours, sunglasses are definitely a must on the list.
Totally.
I think if I were to change anything in the second build, I would definitely put an indoor shower, because we have an outdoor shower, but it's really cold and there's not much privacy. So I would probably put an indoor shower right here and then make the kitchen area a little bit smaller.
We do have the outdoor shower heater. It runs off the propane tank, and it's super blazing hot, the water, but the problem is it is cold when you're like outside and just the wind starts hitting you, or just any type of weather, no matter where you are.
Even if
just
you're
when
in
you're
the
outside
desert.
dripping wet, it's just cold.
It is. It's a lot colder than you would think. So actually, I enjoyed building this one so much. I actually am looking into buying another one just to build it out, just to sell it. And since I know how to do everything now, I could probably build it in a month or so. So that'd be super awesome. And I have a lot of fun ideas for that. Also, if I could redo it again, I would definitely add a fan above the bed, because it gets really hot and you want to have all that air coming down on you, rather than when it's really hot out and you just have stagnant air right here.
Yeah, our van came with the air conditioner, which is great because you can totally like use the front air conditioning. It sends it all the way to the back and comes out here. So if somebody's driving, other person's sleeping, it's like heaven. But the only problem is, you know, you're not always driving. And if you're laying in bed, you can't run the air conditioner without the van running, and you don't want to idle a van all night. So through the summer, we've been traveling. We drove all the way from Connecticut to San Diego, Mexico, and now we're up here in Washington State. And this whole time I've been doing summer classes, and I've been doing them all online. And it's been great because my professors usually have 1 to 2 Zoom classes a week. You can usually find Wi-Fi at like a Starbucks if you need to. And it's been great because you have this COVID stuff going on. There's no point of sitting at home doing your classes if you can go be somewhere fun and do your classes. I really learned to appreciate that, and I think with fall semester coming up and a lot of those classes being online, I think both of our like entire schedule is online. It's like why even bother going home when you can just stay on the road? Paying for a dorm would be ridiculous when you're not even gonna go to class.
I think a lot of other people our age think it's unattainable to do something like this. They've always wanted to do it, but they don't even know how to start. The most important thing is just to save up a lot of your money, do a lot of research, and then just buy a van, and you'll figure it out along the way. Like, we didn't know how to do a lot of this stuff to begin with, but you'll learn. Take it step by step, and you just gotta start someplace, really.
Now, there's plenty of guides online, there's plenty of tours, there's plenty of YouTube videos that talk about every little thing. It's just a matter of like having the, you know, enthusiasm about it and having the motivation to learn how to do it.
A lot of people want to travel, but if you're constantly buying airplane tickets and paying for a hotel or an Airbnb, it can really rack up. But if you buy a van like this, sure, it's more expensive up front, but after it's all said and done, you'll actually have something that you can sell if you even wanted to. So it actually pays for itself, and it's a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, so far we've been driving on this one trip. We've been driving for about 2 months now. We haven't paid for a single campsite, a single hotel room, anything like that. We've paid for laundry a few times and a ton of fuel, but no campsites or no hotel rooms, so it's been great.
So we actually bought the van for $7,000, which was a great deal for one of these. They can go for much more. And then for the build itself, we spent about $5,000, but we were very thrifty with it. So we have a Dometic fridge, which normally goes for $1,200, but we actually found it on Facebook Market for $350. So if you can get great deals like that, you're golden. Otherwise, it can get really expensive for a build like this.
Engine wise, like all the maintenance, we probably spent maybe $1,000. We had to redo the brake lines, redo the exhaust. We've probably put $13,000 total. That's buying the van with all the work, the maintenance, and then build. And that's only $13,000.
I thought we kept it low. You guys killed it.
It's sweet because we have this thing that we put a lot of time and not even too much money in, and it's worth a lot, and it's also a great way to explore.
It actually took about 6 months to build it all out, and I worked on it every day. About 70% of the work is just thinking. I would sit out here all day and maybe about 2 hours of actual work. The rest would just be sitting, looking around, trying to figure out how to do things or how I wanted the layout to be.
Thank you guys so much for watching this van tour. Thank you, Abby and Joe, for showing us your amazing build. If you want to find them, we're gonna have some links down below to all their amazing work. And until next time, we have videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, so be sure to subscribe.